Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Elio Vera. My name is Elizabeth. Thank you for being here, guys. And I think the latest message, well, the only message that the first actually message that we received from CIC has been just amazing. I am so excited. Truly, I was jumping up and down when I saw it. I was just so curious to learn what they wanted to to share with us, and basically to see a different perspective, another perspective. I think it's always interesting to see other perspectives of the same situation. No, people will give you because people will give you more information or will give you a different view of that same information, and it's always quite enriching, which is what I think. So let's start. I made a lot of notes actually. They basically, what CIC, this is what I wasn't sure, but I was told, or maybe it was said in one of the videos and I missed it, that CIC, it's basically military. So the way they behave, it's military, in a military way, which is quite different. So they always reviewing networks online, and basically they wanted to clarify a few points because they've seen people who are basically misinterpreting the information. They have a lot of questions, and I think, in my opinion, that the latest news from Mary, the latest videos with what's been going on in the Sadiclea, put a lot of people with cognitive dissonance there. I think it made a lot of people they just couldn't understand. I think people, especially new people that are coming in, and it's understandable. They haven't still built a framework to be able to understand this disclosure and all the information that is basically there, because they still have the framework from this matrix, which basically, drives your perception in a certain way and makes what Mary says and describes as science fiction. So it's difficult, and I understand why they go all crazy. So it was great for CIC to clarify a few things and give us their perspective. I thought it was fantastic. So if you're watching CIC, thank you so much. I'm so excited about that video. I hope that you are able, or you are inclined and happy to do more, at least for myself, and I think I can speak for many people. We are very grateful, and thank you so much. Thank you for that. Appreciate it a lot. I think as well, there's just one more thing, CIC. I think that since you are translating Mary's video, you obviously have a lot of communication with her, and I think your point of view outside of Mary, from what Mary's doing and saying, it's kind of useful. It's very useful because at least it helps us as well to understand more of what Mary's saying, even though she's very clear about it. But having a perspective from outside looking at Mary, it gives us more information. To me, it clarified a lot of things, and I thought it was quite amazing. So I hope that you are inclined and happy to do more videos in the future, especially when you see so many questions being asked and people just maybe getting confused, I think. The great thing about message is basically they told us uh, that Mary, her videos, is she makes them in the same way that she would speak to you. You know, if she has any communication with you, or speaking to you, having a conversation with you, this is the way she goes about it. This is how she speaks. This is how she expresses herself. Um, this is how she explains things, and she and it shows, and it shows how what her personality is like. And I found that quite not interesting, but I found it very brave of her to open herself in this way. And I think I see how important it is for her to do this uh, for us and the work that she's doing. And you need to be brave to open yourself up like this. You need to have a good strategy. You need to have a lot of knowledge. And I think she's got it. I think she can do this, definitely. I see her quite confident in this regard, certainly. Uh, Also, one of the things that CIC mentioned is that they wanted to clarify a few things because, in regards to the lower astral attack, um, the experience that they experienced, you know, they had, it puts from our perspective, from a human perspective, especially if you're just coming out of the matrix into this disclosure as such, it puts it in a very science fiction perspective. And I think that if anyone here is watching this video and you are just having a lot of trouble trying to conceive this is true, trying to believe it, um, in all honesty, I can tell you that I went through the same phase. Uh, in my experience, when I found the disclosure, I felt a lot of familiarity. Later, I realized I am Taygetan, so that's why there is a strong familiarity and pull, a strong one. So, which is what kept me keep listening to this. Also, the information. So, I do advise that if you are feeling like this could be science fiction and you're not sure whether to believe this, just give yourself time because the perception from the matrix, it's very strong. It's been there since you were a child. You know, they build you up from when you start going to school, so it's there and it's very strong. And you might find that your brain is telling you the science fiction and your heart is doing something else, so you have this constant battle going on. So give yourself time. um, Listen to more of the videos. There are a lot of videos from Gosha and Cosmic Agency, and of course, Mary's videos. But as well, I think that the reason that you are here, it's because you've seen things that are not working in the matrix, that you think this is weird. I mean, society as such, it just doesn't make sense, and it's kind of ridiculous, and you are probably going a little crazy in there. And it's true, it's how we all feel. And it's because it's fake. That's the thing, it's fake. So and they make us believe that that is real, you know, but they make it up. They make it up. So we have this in the matrix, in the society as such on this earth. We are so immersed in it. We've been so conditioned to believing this, especially if you studied science, mathematics. It's kind of difficult to get out of it. Actually, especially if you've been through academic institutions like university and have done a lot of studies, that I think, even though it can be an advantage in some ways here in society, it can be a disadvantage to when you are wanting to actually understand what is really going on. Because that's the idea for your training in the society at university level to be against what they are sharing with you here in this disclosure. So just give yourself time. And I think it's just time, and just reflect on what you are experiencing here in society and see what they're saying, and just watch it for a little while. And I think we just need time. A lot of people just need a little bit more time. Hmm. At least that's my my 2 cents there. Now, one of the things that was interesting for me is that because they do remember past lives, I've always wondered how they deal with it and if they use it and how they use it. Is it like incorporated into the way they behave in this current in their current life experience? Do they integrate a lot of that information or that experience? I mean, how do they deal with it? How do they have to deal with it? Can they ignore it? I mean, how do they experience remembering past lives? That has always been a question I've had. And I'm really glad that CIC mentioned this. So basically, they told us that Mary chooses sometimes not, she says, remembering past life does not, she does not live them as absolute truths that modified her being today. So for me, that was something new. That was new information for me, and I really liked it. In my life here, I have to admit that maybe I am curious a little bit to know what my past lives have been. But in all honesty, I feel like I don't really want to. I don't need it. I want to be here and make the decisions from the experience that I have here, from the being that I am here right now as Elizabeth. And if I maybe remember anything in my past lives, I just see them as something interesting and just a curiosity, but not really wanting to learn more about it. Yeah, I think I want to experience this life as it is now, even though I've been trying to leave it. I've been trying to exit this planet for a while now. I have to admit as well that I want to live it as I am today, as the person that I am today. And I really wanted to know how some Taygetans, I don't know how other Taygetans see it, and how they approach that remembering past lives. So it was great to know. Lara Garza, hi, how are you? Welcome. thank you being Thank you for being here. Hi. And so she mentions as well Athena. They mention Athena. Everyone was asking for Athena. Tina, they call her. She's well, and she basically decided to help the other sick Taygetans in the medical bay. So she's been doing all right. She's recovering well. And Dorkalel apparently is not doing very well. His recovery has been slow. He has lost 15 kilos. That's a lot. Um, and it's difficult for him to walk without a cane. So it has been quite hard on him. This attack has really left him in a critical situation. And I do hope that Dorkalel is able to recover quickly, and that he's getting better and better every day. So I send my hugs to him. If he's watching, I hope you get better soon. I really do. Thank you for everything. Appreciate it. and all the other crew is recovering well. And we actually did ask about the personal assistant, Mary's personal assistant, Algeria. That's her. That's her, isn't it? Algeria. That's a personal assistant. I could be wrong here. My memory is not that great, but I think it is her. And she decided to stay, even though she had the terrible experience. She's quite brave, and she decided to stay and carry on. So that was really good of her. It would be nice to hear something from her. That would be interesting. She's quite new. She's been here only a few months, I think. Or did she come in last year? So she's probably been here a year, but not very long. Now, the CIC team, they say that they accompany Mary from ship to ship. Every time she moves, they go with her. So I'm assuming I don't know. They are with her in the Biggie, right? So yeah, if they do follow her, then I think they are in the Biggie with Mary. So they do confirm, and yes, they did say in previous videos that Mary writes in English and then it gets translated to Spanish, and this is something that they wanted to clarify as well. It's what we were talking, and I think the word contempt in English was something that took everyone by surprise, because the word contempt, it's quite a strong word. So I think it was, I think it was normal for people to say, "Wait a minute, what do you mean contempt? What was going on here?" Everybody was really worried, and they did explain that they learn words, they don't learn how they are interpreted here, because one word, and for example in Spanish, in Chile, it's interpreted differently in Mexico, and the same, I think, in English, probably. Actually, in English, yes, in English is the same. So I guess they are trying to use the words that closely reflects and explain, what they want to share with us. And I think contempt was the best word that they could use, but I don't think it was meant to be used so in a way that is perceived as harsh to us. I mean, contempt. So I think it was basically the word contempt. I'm sure they were referring to that word because they didn't say which word, but I think it was that, because the word contempt was not the word that was used in the Spanish channel. And the Spanish channel, the word indifference was used instead of contempt. So then we were like thinking, okay, so which one is it? Because indifference to contempt, it's kind of there's a big difference. But I think it was more of an indifference than contempt. I was surprised, and yeah, it surprised me in this CIC message how they described the behavior from the Stariclea crew. And I like it that they say, just because we make an observation of a situation and how people are behaving doesn't mean we do not love them or care for them. Which I think a lot of people here, humans, they do not, we do not behave that way. If we are observing something, we're not going to really describe people that we work with in that way. We try to be, most of us, at least for me, for most of us to not say anything or to say it in a different way. Um, but as well, I think that the distinction as well is that people who make this observation, negative observation towards someone, it goes together with not feeling love towards that person. Here humans, that goes hand in hand. If you're going to say something negative about them, it's because you don't like them. Usually that's how it works. It doesn't work with everyone. It doesn't always work with me. In fact, I've been in trouble in the Spanish channel at the beginning, where I used words that are descriptive, like idiot, stupidity, and ignorance, especially ignorance, as an observation, and people took it as an insult that I didn't like those people. And I was just making an observation. I was just using different type of words, and I got in trouble with that. Um, so basically, yeah, it's here humans, when they speak negatively, or that type of criticism is given to someone else, it usually goes hand in hand with not liking that person, you know, at all. So that was a good clarification there. Now, yeah, I guess we feel differently here, but then you have to understand. I think we have to understand that they are, when they speak, it's also telepathic. So the feelings are there as well. But for us, not everyone can feel what the other one is feeling when they're telling you you're being ignorant here, you're being stupid. Um, and I think if we are capable of feeling someone else's feeling when they say something like that, we are so immersed in this negative soup that I think the automatic response of, defense pops up, because we are um, in a constant feeling of survival, and anything negative that could see happening to us, we block it right away, and we get angry, or we get sad, or we hide away. So I think I think there is a clear difference in how their communication works and how our communication works, because we are in different types of soups. They are in a higher frequency soup, and we are very low, defensive, and a scared sort of soup, frequency. So we do react differently, and we communicate differently. And it has to be like that because we are in survival mode, basically. So that was a really good clarification, because now I can see Mary's vocabulary different, in a different light, because I didn't know. I've always asked, and I've said it, share it with you in these videos. And I said, why is Mary talking like that in regards to other races, calling them ignorant and stupid? And I thought, maybe that's not very diplomatic, because here we try not to do that unless we want to put them down, you know. So that's a really good clarification, especially for me. It helped me understand more in regards to their vocabulary and how they use the communication. So that was fantastic. So thank you, CIC team. That was brilliant. I loved it. I really did. Just saying hello, a bit away. Hello, how are you? Welcome. He says, I did not pick up on the past lives reference. Thank you for focusing on that aspect. Yes, I know. I actually, before I do the videos now, I listen to the video and I take notes as I go about, and I always think, oh, I missed that one completely. So usually, even though I listen to them carefully, the videos, there's always something that I miss. It's kind of interesting in that regards. I'm always surprised when I hear the videos again that there's something there that I just thought, wait a minute, that information wasn't there before. But it was. I guess it's so much information that a lot of them we don't pick up. Jaime Cubides. I don't know, Jaime Cubides. Do I say it in Spanish? Because I can't say it in English. Welcome, Trigger. Jason Dory, how are you? Remember when Mary told us she could read the crew thoughts and they sort of were not nice about her? I don't remember that actually. Let me see. Hmm. Oh no, I do not remember that. But I guess she probably could. Well, they were quite obvious about it, and unfortunately, they didn't know they were under a trance and being attacked. But yeah, I'm sure she felt it. I'm sure she did. I mean, it was quite obvious. Especially, I do remember the incident where she came back from a meeting of such from Taygetan, and when she came to eat, everyone ate and only left her an egg. She did say that they didn't leave her anything and she just made something for herself. She was really tired and then went to her room. And at that time, that video, I did make a live and I said, wait a minute, why isn't there someone maybe cooking for her? Because she has a lot of activities that she had to be present in. She has a lot of things to do. How about having someone cook for her, make her meals? Um, at least it's how we work here. And for some reason, I just thought that would be automatic, that Mary or protocols dictate that if you're the queen and you obviously have a lot of things to do, how about, get someone who volunteers to be Mary's cook or help her in some way. Um, so obviously that happened because they were already being attacked. So nobody was really taking care of everyone else. In fact, the opposite was happening. Now we know. But at that time, nobody knew. And I found it weird. So this is the thing about communication, is that this is what I mean in regards to letting your thoughts, your opinions, your point of view known. Because, you know, I pointed it out and I thought, wait a minute, that's weird. That's just off. Um, so if things are off, you usually go and investigate. But as CIC informed us, the crew and the static layer never asked for help because they were under attack, and so they didn't. They were being manipulated. So if they didn't ask for help, people were not going to help them. People were not going to investigate. It makes total sense. We did think of that ourselves as well. One of the things that made me feel, one of the feelings that I had when I listened to CIC message, I was quite proud of myself. I thought, I wasn't far off. I did get it. I cannot understand this. I can't figure it out. It made me feel really good, this CIC message. Because you sometimes navigate and you're thinking, I wonder if what I'm thinking, it's kind of what it is. Am I making it up? Am I being ridiculous? But no, apparently not. Not always, anyway. Anyway, so Athena is good. Adiria as well. The vocabulary aspect of the video, so that's covered. So Mary writes as she speaks, so it's great. So now we know Mary's personality, which is quite interesting. So actually, yes, the other thing, um, I mean, her physical pain was ignored, and she was sent to her room without checking on her. Yeah, that sounds brutal, doesn't it? But it didn't just happen to her; it happened to other crew members. So yeah, they were basically being attacked. So nobody was being, um, no one, I think, was being themselves as they are. They are being, they were being manipulated. So they were doing the opposite, basically. I hope that's the whole explanation. I'm sure it is. Now, one of the things is that now Mary was able to ask for help to Captain Gorel once she left the Sarikaya and went to have the healing from the Urma. Um, yeah, because I was thinking, well, when you are being attacked astrally, it doesn't matter where you are, you can get attacked. But you are attacked when your frequency is kind of low and you're able to be attacked. So having Mary out of that negative matrix in the Sarikaya, she was able to see what was happening. And as well with her healing that she experienced with the Urma, I think she was able to get out of it and see what was going on and ask for help. So that made me, um, you know what I learned from this is that it's so important to understand your frequency and observing where you are. So if you see a lot of negative things around you, negative people around you, like, they can be your friends, they probably your family. And if you see them as toxic, you say, wait a minute, these people are really, really depressed. If you're constantly with them, you become absorbed within that matrix, that negative matrix, which makes you vulnerable to being attacked, doesn't it? I mean, they were not immune, thinking that they are in orbit. They are kind of away from the matrix, but the negativity is so strong that it does reach them. And since they were so isolated, they created a matrix with a lower frequency as such. I don't know how else to explain it. So then everybody was attacked. So I guess it's really important it's really important to get away, I think, from a group that you're immersed in that is negative. If you see them that they are negative in their own life or they're just complaining all the time, it's kind of a good idea to get out of that group and go somewhere else and find another group or build another group around you, because you do tend to not realize it and create a negative matrix, a low frequency matrix. Even though here we are immersed in a negative one, we can get lower. I mean, so that's really good learning. that really helped me. Even though they did explain it, but I think seeing it like this, watching their experience and them describing it, it really made me understand it better and to be very careful. See, I'm going to be more careful now from now on. I wasn't as careful before, but I am going to be very careful. I mean, I'm not going to avoid completely the negative people around me, because that's going to be uncomfortable, not saying hello to them. I will have tea with them every now and then, but I'm not going to be with them, you know, living my life with them. Hmm. It's important, especially down here in this lower frequency soup matrix. It's good to keep in mind and to be active. I think we have to be active in this matrix in that regard. Remove yourself. Go and live in another city, in another neighborhood, in another house, or in another room. Whatever you can do. Interesting that CIC, it's also letting know. Sometimes I just cannot understand. Uh, Letting other races in the orbit know about the low frequency, that they can also be vulnerable to being attacked, and to take precautions and measures so they are shielded from this low frequency and possible attacks. So this video is really important for other races as well. So other races, if you are watching this, seriously, take it seriously. You might be under the influence. You should observe. Say, this is me talking to other races, just in case you're watching. Yeah, things here are weird. I think the Federation is saying something else because, in my experience, yeah, something's off, and we are living it. We can tell you firsthand something's off. So do your independent research. Yes, yes, and come to your own conclusions. And once you start doing your research, you'll see that the Federation will impose themselves. Just keep researching. You'll see what's going on. Yep. Sandy, hello, how are you? Welcome. Jason says, yes, many of us ancient souls pick up on the energy between the lines and message. Yes. Yes, it's true. It happened to Anika, he says, where she was not taken back to Temer, to her home by the sea when she was struggling with earth density. Yes, you have to remember that Anika didn't want to take a rest, didn't want to go back to Temer to rest. They're not going to impose themselves on people. I think if someone doesn't want to get into a medical pod, they're not going to make them. If they don't want to rest, if they don't want to go back to their home for a little while on vacation, whatever, they're not going to make them. Not like here. Well, here it's kind of easier, I think, resting. But up there, I think it's seen quite differently. Jason says, that's what I thought as well. This is why I feel, he says, they need some of us up there with them, as we're used to the density of Earth and could counsel them in aspects of how to cope. More rotation back home or degaussing, yes. Yes, but I do wonder as well whether our present, well, they do have Anna. They do have Anna. They would, yeah, they would need to be very careful, I think, if they take anyone from down here. volunteers, obviously, because we must be really low in frequency. They're basically gonna do like they're gonna take us like this and put us in a little room for a little while, like a stinky fish, and talk to us through a room. um, yeah, I wonder how they feel about that. I don't know, but for some reason they're saying no. Better Way says there is much that seems disconnected with the crew actions on the Teleka and static layer. If there is one element of the disclosure has shown, emotions are where the Taygetan society can be the Achilles heel. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah, we all have our Achilles heel, I guess. Mm. It's so quiet. For some reason, I feel this quiet, this silence. I don't know if it's disturbing. No, it's not. Something about it. I can't seem to put my finger on it. I've been experiencing it. I just can't put my finger on it. There is a silence. Oh, I like it, but there's something there. I want to know more. Okay. Now, and basically, yes, that's what they wanted to confirm, that nobody acted before. The military didn't act because the Taygetans in the static layer never asked for help. And they were not going to impose themselves uh, and invade the static layer on purpose, by force. It's understandable, most definitely. I mean, if people don't ask you for help, why go help? It makes no sense. In fact, I actually get very annoyed when people offer their help and I do not ask for it. Not you guys. You can give me all the help and you want. I'm talking about the people in the matrix because it's usually matrix help. It's so annoying. But that's different to what they're talking about. But I'm just sharing. Anyway, communication restrictions, the next video. So thank you, CIC team. Really appreciate that. I do hope you're inclined and happy to keep doing more of those videos. We love them. Communication restrictions, the next video by Mary. I think, as she said, it's true. It has been discussed in other videos, but only like little bits, part of other conversation, and never in a video itself. So she goes on explaining first how this matrix is contained, how they are, they drive your perception and teach you science and mathematics that doesn't serve you, that restricts us to manifest this society and not have access, for example, to free energy. I mean, take free energy and it just brings down the matrix. Free energy will bring down the matrix, no doubt about it. So that will never happen because science and the mathematics are wrong. Science is dogmatic, it's religion, and mathematics is the base is 10 instead of 12. Now with mathematics, I don't really understand it. So when they say base 10 and base 12, I can understand it, but no, not really. I wouldn't know what to do with it. If they give me a manual in regards to mathematics base 12, I have no idea what to do with it. But in regards to science, that I know quite well. And yes, I could see that it was dogmatic. In fact, when I went to study science, I got so angry, and I kept telling them, you're not going to get anywhere. Lecturers were not happy with me at all. And I told them, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get any advancements. We're not going to cure cancer or any type of diseases if we keep doing science this way. It makes no sense. But hey, I was just a student. Who's going to listen to a student saying those things? But yes, I mean, it's clear that I think that almost any human with a soul who goes to study science in the way at least I went to study it, that it was a passion. It wasn't to get a degree or to be thought of as a scientist or have a title. No, I just wanted to study science. I wanted to study cells and genetics and stem cells. And it was just fascinating. I was so fascinated by it. That's why I would cringe every time they would dissect an animal. I was thinking, how can you study something by killing it? It's dead. You're not going to be able to study something that is dead. Made no sense. It just drove me nuts. And I wouldn't take any part in it. No, 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 no. I refuse to. No way. I'm not going to kill an animal. God. Anyway, that's science for you here. Dogmatic, most definitely dogmatic, yes. So she goes about explaining how the perception is guided here, how they control science, mathematics, and all the other subjects. Obviously, they have to, or else we are not going to be able to manifest this matrix. And also, she did mention in regards to the drones that the Galactic Federation, the Cabal, they are going to introduce any type of ET disclosure or knowledge very in a very restrictive and careful way, obviously to help with their agenda. So anything that they do, any information that comes out in regards to extraterrestrial, it's going to be for manipulation. It's never going to be so that people learn about extraterrestrials, because if that was the case, the matrix will fall, because then we would know about simple free energy. Take one aspect of it. I mean, for aliens to be here on Earth, they need to have some sort of power or engine. No, what I mean, not engine. Some sort of what's the word? Not energy. Some sort of. Well, you know what I mean. I mean, they're not going to use petrol for their spaceships. That makes no sense. I mean, yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, if you're coming from Taygetan, it'll take you how many years to reach Earth? So funny. Anyway, so yeah, they are controlling this just for their agenda. ETs are never going to be introduced into society, into Earth society. And humans are never going to be intergalactic. For goodness sake, it's never going to happen. As long as the Galactic Federation keeps doing what they're doing in this Earth and using it as a lab, it's never going to happen. It's going to be more of the same. Restriction after restriction after restriction. And basically science fiction. Because that's the thing, in all honesty. This matrix can be resolved quickly. It can be resolved quickly, and needs to resolve, I think, very slowly. You know, if you want extraterrestrials to come down, and if you want humans to get intergalactic and interplanetary, and and have their own spaceships and so on. And needs to be very gradual because we are in this soup of negativity. So it needs to be adjusted slowly, because I don't think people will be able to process this in a very holistic and peaceful way. But it can be done just very slowly. And they're not going to do it because they want this matrix. The Galactic Federation cherishes this matrix and wants to keep it that way. They don't want to change it. It is obvious, because if they wanted to, it would have been done a long time ago. Interesting, isn't it? Because then you wonder, because at the beginning I wanted to find ways to gather people and make some sort of holistic community, well, semi holistic community, because holistic, I don't think it's possible here on Earth. But I wanted to make something, or gather people who wanted to do it. And now I'm thinking, well, I don't think that this Earth is gonna it's being used for something else. This planet is being used for something else. And I think that needs to be resolved at federation level. And that's where the races from the federation who are watching in orbit and not investigating what is going on here should know. Most certainly. Because apparently they do not know. Anyway, okay. So anyway, yes. So this is the wonderful thing that I learned from this video of Mary, the communication, because I didn't know when she said all her videos and all the communication from them goes through the Galactic Federation filter. And I was thinking, how does that work? I mean, what, do they send it to the Federation and people there put it through a computer and then it is sent to YouTube? I was like, how does it work? And then she explained it. It was kind of interesting. I wrote this down. She says, nearly everything nowadays is digital and works through the internet, which is controlled by a series of artificial intelligence nodes, mostly which are on Earth. So one of those nodes is the Red Queen computer. Just the name gives me shivers. Whoa. And the other node is the Google control algorithm. Google controlled algorithm. See, I didn't know that at all. Did you? Did you know that? I had no idea. So it doesn't go to like the Viera in some ways, right? It goes through directly to our own internet. And through those nodes, the Google, the Red Queen computer, through those nodes, it gets filtered. And it comes out on the other side to what we see. So I guess I wonder if our videos and things go through that, do they? They don't need to, because we're human. They deal with us in other ways. Some people disappear. So see, that was interesting. I had no idea. That's how it works. So if what they send is not what the Galactic Federation wants us to see, it comes out on our end. It doesn't come out, basically. Their images come out as a rectangle, black rectangle, and not the image. And the audio comes scrambled, so you can't hear anything. You just hear background noise. Huh. See, that's interesting. See, the main internet-controlled artificial intelligence is Federation controlled by their non-human quantum holographic computer linked to the web. Ah. There is a very strong artificial intelligence filtering everything that the Taygetans transmit. And it is embedded in the very digital fabric of the internet. See, it's part of the internet. Isn't that interesting? I had no idea. That's so creepy. If the internet became creepy to me, now it's creepier. Really, really creepy now. Whoa. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? See, for me, the internet, I have to admit, every time I go online, I don't feel good. You know, it feels creepy. I don't know how you feel when you go on the internet. And when I watch anything, when I'm just online, there is this weird feeling that I get. And now when I use my phone, uh, it's stronger. The phone does something else that the computer doesn't. So I'm now using less and less the phone. Ugh. Yeah, it's really creepy. So, but I'm really happy that she explained that. I didn't know. So I did ask actually in my video, what would happen if, so what, see, she answered my question. Yay. I'll just think that she listens to my videos. I can live in my own bubble. So she answered my question. So happy. I'm so happy. Because I always thought, what if they send videos that with information or images or audio that the Galactic Federation doesn't want us to see? I mean, do they send it back to them? Because I thought it was going to the VRC. I didn't know how it worked. So I thought, do they delete the videos? What happens? How do they know? So that's how it works. It just comes out weird on the other side to us. That's good, isn't it? Has it happened? Obviously, it has happened before. Maybe they test it. Maybe they test it on another YouTube channel that we don't know about. I don't know. I'm just assuming. You know, I assume a lot. Okay, so but she does say that some originals of her, some pictures of her, have miraculously passed through the filters. Now she tells us which ones are those. That would be more useful. So those are the mysteries that Mary leaves us with. Some of them are original. Which ones? Take your pick. Okay, so what do you guys think? So how do you guys feel about the CIC message? And I thought it was fantastic. Oh, the silence is driving me crazy. Jamie, hello. Mary Juarez, hi, how are you? Okay, so that's it. That's all I had to say in regards to the latest two videos. So exciting about the CIC sending us a message. Loved it. It clarified a lot of the information. One of the things I want to say again and again and again, I love the details on Mary's videos. Please keep the details on all your videos. It's such an eye-opener. And the idea here is to basically see that they are more people. And it's great. It's really wonderful. I love all the details. You can get so much more information with details. So no, I'm very happy with that. I've always been happy with details. And I keep saying it. I've said it in my previous videos as well. So, in regards to how Mary speaks and with all the details, yes, I'm ready for contact because that's what they asked. The CIC asked that if we were not ready for the details, then we were not ready for contact. I am. I love details. I've always said it. I'll just leave it there, just in case. I've tried so much for them to contact me that I feel like if they close the door, I will try the window. Oh, how I would like to see their reaction. John S says, no, wait a minute. Jason says CIC message felt as an aspect of self-reflection. Yes, yes, it did. It did, definitely. John S says AI are the artificial intelligence are reading the language all over the internet and are able to see the future like CHCI have done the last 30 years. Yes, yes, exactly. Creepy, right? Oh my God. Mm, clip. See, hi. He informed about 9/11 Twin Towers and much more. Wow. Jason says, Mary, I would suggest have a small fridge in her room so she can put some foods for when she has to do the immersion meetings and has a little back in home. I know, right? I'm sure she has a fridge in her room, wouldn't she? I mean, I have a fridge in my room. Um, yeah, I think she will need to do something in regards to her food. You know, a volunteer. I'm sure there's a volunteer out there who would love to cook for Mary. As well, we have to understand that they have to be careful who is the cook. I don't know. That's what they were saying when Alanin was in charge. They had to be careful who was coming in, but I don't know how they're going to do it now. But yes, I think it's a good idea for her to start taking action in that regards. So maybe her personal assistant will be able to help her with that. And maybe that's what's been happening lately, which would be great. Click hi, click hi. I don't know him actually. Thank you, John. Yes. I know when you're starving, yeah. Well, the thing is that she cannot just eat anything. I think she can now eat a lot of the foods because before she was getting really sick with eating anything. I think now she can eat a lot of the foods. And I'm sure the foods there are not like here. Like here, when you are really starving, you just cannot cook. You just go and get something from the takeaway. I do. Yeah, I do. Cliff High. Oh, Cliff High. Got it. Thank you. Oh, well, I'll write it down. I'll see who he is. Cliff High. I'll investigate. Thank you. Okay. So, so that's it, guys. An hour. Wow. Thank you so much for being here. I really love talking to you guys. This was these last two videos were extremely interesting. They are clarifying more of what's going on. And Mary apparently has more information to report in regards to this attack and how it is now, how it is moving along. It's good to know that the Sarikleia crew is getting better. They are recovering. I'm so glad. I was actually worried, in all honesty. I'm glad they are okay. They're moving forward. And I do have faith in them. I have faith in them that they can get on their feet, that they can move forward, and they can get better soon and be okay and move forward. I do have faith in them. Yes. That's why they are here. I mean, they know what they are doing here, and they have the experience, and they've seen what's going on. So they're, it didn't kill them, so it made them stronger. It's what we say here. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. The first time I heard that, I was very young. I heard it from a friend, and she said to me, it didn't kill you, so it made you stronger. And I'm like, okay. But it's true. It does make you stronger. So they're going to get stronger. They're going to get better. And yeah, I have faith in them. They're going to be well. So, okay. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for keeping me company and giving me your opinions, chatting with you. It's always fun. I love it. If you have anything more to say, or anyone is seeing me, afterwards, you can leave your opinions and comments, opinions and perspectives in the comments. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Love you very much. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.